Hey everybody, it's Friday night, and it's time to do our weekly little look at the treasury, the DexFi Treasury Bonds. I can't even see Treasury because I don't have a treasury, but this is gonna maybe change it for me. Now, really quick, we'll go ahead and take a look at this video. Let me just mute it. I just want to get to the page where I'm looking at the Treasury bonds. Oops. Okay, so we were at 104% APR. I was at 8 positions at worth around $1,900. All right, let's go a little bit further here because I bought a couple more positions at the bend. Okay, so I had 10 positions worth about $2,300, $2,400. Now we're going to see some of the variable that you can hit in this issue. And yes, I didn't do my hair for this video, but I did it today. So it's still done, even though it's getting late and it's almost time to shower the gel out. But, whatever. We're going to take, another look at this project. Okay, let's go ahead and go over here. We see they added this. This is new. They're showing how much money they've given out. Now, as you know, I showed you guys this last time. I've done 2 claims. I've got $82 back. But unfortunately, I'm down to $2,009 for my 10. So yes, I'm down about $300 in value for my 10 positions. Now, why did this happen? Let's look at the price of ETH. Because remember, you're putting Ethereum in. And if we look at this over the 5-day, well, this happened. The war got broken out, and we dropped down from about 2,500 ETH to about $2,400 ETH. And so the value of a lot of the money inside there has went down. Now, does this mean that they can't make me money? No. Am I mad? Am I like, oh, I'm down? No. Let's remember, we can see the wallets. We can see the funds. They still have all this money. They're still doing liquidity farming for us. I don't even have to know about all these different coins. They do all the work, and they're making me, in theory, still over 100%. We're actually a little bit higher. We're at 108%. So, they have a better APR. But yes, my current position is down a little bit. But this is the other thing you get. When you come into this project and you give them some money. Now, if you come in with USDC thinking you're going to get a straight USDC return, you are added in some up and down of the coin that you use to get in. It's Ethereum. Right now, the price of a bond is pretty cheap. It would be a good time to pick another one up, but I don't have quite $200 worth of Ethereum right now. Maybe in another couple weeks I will, but still, I have another $36 to claim. This will look smaller than the last video. I told you last time I came in on a Sunday, so it had, in reality, or a Saturday night, it had an extra day of earnings, of payouts, to get up to that $60. And again, this $36, while it might look a lot smaller than that $60, it's still a good APR because my Ethereum I gave them is now down to only being worth $2,000. Right? So I gave them $2,000, and in 1 week they made me $36. Last week, I had given them almost $2,000 because I gave them that extra money. And I think if we go back here, you'll see I had, you can't really probably see it, but it's $62 that we claimed last time. And then I had an initial claim that I did kind of on accident as well. But, today we're going to be doing a claim because every Friday they come in, they rebalance things. They give you your expected APR that you're going to have. So that's something that was that is like their epoch day. So at some point today, they may have already did this. They come in, they look at the money that they've made, and then they give us our APR that we should have for the week. Now this APR can change, and let me show you how this can change. First, we'll do our little claim right here. One of the other thing that's kind of nice is since this is on base, if you if you have a Coinbase account, you can turn it on so you get paid a little bit more for holding that money. You see here, this will go up now. So now we're up to $119 returned from the project so far. When this gets up to enough to maybe get another bond, we could be getting another bond, but I don't know about that for sure. If bonds do keep trending down because ETH keeps getting cheaper, then maybe we could buy some ETH and then get a bond as well, because we do get paid out in stables. So we get that chance to dollar cost average back into this project. Now, some of the big news, let me go ahead and go here. Let me bring this up because there's something I wanted to show you from the video today. So I'm going to bring this up. It's muted, but I'm looking. Let me see if I can find this. Oops. Here. Was it here? No, they had it up on the screen for a little bit. They were talking about Bernard bonds. They were talking. Okay, here. So, let me pause it here. Make this bigger. So they're showing us here the weekly amounts that they've had deposited and how much money they've been able to make. And now you'll see right here, the first week that they did this, it was only about 345K. Then they had another 451 and then another 538. So, I mean, it went up from here to here to here. And then now it's went up even more since this time. They'll be adding the next week's one here. But this is where they get the idea of how much money they're making. See, they have this daily yield, they have this daily profit. These two numbers, the difference is here. The yield is how much money that they made inside the farms that they left and kind of compounded into the farms. The daily profit is the actual USDC that they pulled out. So see, if they were making around $1,000 profit plus $300 yield, that's where you get this big old 360 APY. APYs are different than APRs because they have that compounding effect inside of them. But it's not what they show us. You can read through all their documentation to see, but then you can see it starts getting a lot bigger because they get that money working. They get their liquidity farms and their concentrated liquidity farms in those right ranges. They start making a lot more fees. And you can see here, even though the money only went up a little bit, the daily profit doubled. And then over here, it only went up a little bit more. And the daily profit almost doubled again, a little bit less, maybe about 75% more here. So then that's why these APYs jumped up to crazy numbers, 1,600, 2,400. But again, everything is going to be variable here. This is the thing they will tell you in this project. This is real yield. The coins you put in is Ethereum. Ethereum has a value that goes up and down, so your deposited amount of money is going to go up and down. What they earn is going to go up and down. Your APR will go up and down, but they're expecting that they will always be able to deliver at least over 100% APR, and they have done that so far. The other real big news that they wanted to note out is that they're at over $1 million that has been invested into this. Now you're going to say, huh, what? That's not $1 million, right? That's $872,000. It's because we already showed this last time. They have their first whitelist people doing this. There's another $1,054 that was put in here. So obviously this is the same thing basically. Their API is a little bit lower, but that's because if you come to them and you go, hey, we want to do this, you can change a little bit how much money goes to your team and how much money goes to the people that join on your place, right? So if you want to come here and you want to buy NFTs with this Bernard, if you like Bernard bonds more, well, their API is a little bit smaller. Sometimes it's a little bit higher. It changes. It's dynamic. Both teams have a little bit of a control with these kind of things, but they're going into the same thing, right? They're selling this as something that they could do. So these people had a group. They have a project. They have a treasury wallet. They want to put their treasury wallet to work. They want it to be making them money, and they want to give their people a chance to come in and make money too. And so that's how Bernard Bonds was born. Now, as you can see, one other project coming in brought in almost 200K. And this will be over 200K eventually, as probably the treasury wallet will keep compounding into here, except for when they need to pull out funds maybe to do something for their project. I don't know much about the Bernard project or the Bernard Bonds. I'm going to keep with the DexFi ones because they're the people that are making it. And every time they sell it to somebody else, it's more money coming in. But they are comfortable showing, and this is why they showed what they did in this here, that as they get more money, they expect to make more money. Why does that work? Why can they get more money? It's because as they can put more money into each one of these farms, they can make more fees for being in them. They can cover a bigger range if they need to, but it allows them to be one of the major providers of the liquidity in that pool and pull down more of the fees, maybe even all the fees in a day. So you have all these coins that are trading maybe a whole bunch of money, and they can just keep pulling in all of those fees. And the more money they have to put into the system, the more money they can make in fees. Now, are we 100% protected in our assets not going down in value? No, obviously, I showed you. If I pulled out right now, if I decided to completely quit this program, I would unstake my bonds. I would put in a redemption for them. I only get 90% of my money, right? So I only get 0.9 of the 2008. That's the deal on when you leave. So I get $1,800. And then I've claimed $119. So if I want to be short term, oops, that I don't know what I just did there, but nonetheless, it's under $2,000, and I put in $2,400. Now, I did have Ethereum when I got into this project. I didn't go in with all USDC. I did bring over some USDC to buy some Ethereum to get into this, but that's because I wanted to get more money in here with those second ones I bought. So am I down on that investment? I guess technically yes, because I brought over dollars, but this number isn't going to stay here. It might go lower. Oh, look, it just went a little higher. So ETH recovered enough to change the values of both of these numbers, right? As Ethereum goes up and down, a lot of the farms they're in have Ethereum in them. This number's going to go up and down. This number's going to go up and down. And next week, we'll check in and see where it is. But overall, I'm still making my 108% a year. I still only have a couple grand in here. I do want to build this up to a bigger number because I think you guys will pay a little more attention if I have some bigger claims. But everything is working fine. You know, they have grown from the first week, that 300,000, to over $1 million total dollars in their wallets. And you can see that's with the Bernard Bonds. But also, if you come here and you click on this, if you really added up all the values in the wallet, it would add up to a higher number than they're showing because of the Bernard Bonds. So, you know, it's just a good thing to see. Now, they did say one thing that can happen, and did happen recently, is somebody put a lot of money into here. So right now you can see in their wallet, they still have $51,000. That's because somebody came in and gave them $1,000. I mean, not 1,000. $1,000 redundant. $100,000. So it was crypto slow. He did it in a video. He went over the project. He put his money where his mouth was. Threw in $100K into the project. So when the $100K came in, they balanced some of it into ETH. Why did they do that? I mean, into USDT. Why did they do that? We're in a downtrend, right? ETH is going down. How do they protect our money and make sure that our our stuff doesn't go down. Well, if they start to see downtrends, they will farm stables for a little while, and they will hold stables, because part of managing your money and managing your investment for them is making good entries and good exits from the different liquidity pools. If things are getting too dangerous in a coin, if a coin is starting to lose its volume, it's their job to get out of that coin and get into something else. When they're not in, when they don't see anything good or don't feel comfortable getting into a project, they can farm stable coins. Now, stable coins farm at a lower amount, but they can do that. And what I mean by that is you could go into, I don't know if they have one of those going right now. We could look through these. Well, maybe this one. No, I don't know. I don't think they're doing one right now because they don't think that we're in a place where we're going to go down very much. I mean, when we only go down a little bit because of the wars that are going on, then, somebody's offering $1, huh? That's kind of funny. High offer price. That's kind of funny. I should follow this. Oh, and I have to log into DBank. I'm not logged in right now, and I'm not going to worry about that because while I do have a DBank account, I haven't logged into it in a while, so I don't want to try to play that game and figure it out. All right, guys. Well, I did my claim. We talked a little bit about the bonds. We let them show off how they're making more money when they have more money. Family's getting a little wild, so it's time to stop.